We on?
You're on.
All right. Thanks,
Morning,
buddy.
buddy.
Good morning. Here we are.
Yeah.
Iron
All
Rack
right.
with Kyle.
Another beautiful Sunday.
Yes, it is. The weather's been great
Yeah,
the last couple
it's
days.
really good. Really good.
This is the time of year we like here in North Texas.
Yes.
For a
We
few
got
more
about
weeks.
a couple. Well, I was gonna say maybe a couple months before it's just too
Before it's
blazing hot.
really hot.
Freaking. Yeah.
Yep. No, we've been trying to get out and about and enjoy it in the afternoons and stuff when we can.
What were y'all doing this morning? You said y'all had a busy morning.
We were cleaning out the shed and deciding what do we need to keep.
Yeah.
Since we moved to this house 3 years ago, what have we not used that just needs to get trashed or donated, or so we did a bunch of that.
Yeah.
Then I looked and I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Did
I'm filthy dirty.
Did you at least get rid of some stuff out of the shed? Did you make room?
Well, and it started with Erica in the house. She went through her closet the other day. I come home and there's bags of clothes for the donation place, and
I
I'm
need
like,
to do that, dude.
so
Big
do I.
time. Yeah. I usually have a rule. Like when I am doing that, it's if I haven't worn it in 6 months, it's gone. So
Mine would be very similar, unless it's I got like 1 or 2 sport coats.
well,
But I might not have worn it 6. I'm going to keep those.
yeah,
Just
you
for
got it
certain
on the
things.
sideline.
Yeah,
and I guess
but-
a little clarification on mine too. So like my double X stuff, that's because the closet is bulking side and cutting side. So I'd still got to keep some of my stuff. But if it's like, man, I haven't worn that in a long time, it's out.
This is real gym rat meathead conversation.
Yeah.
Bulking
That's
side,
goofy shit.
cutting side of the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I came in yesterday and told you I want to talk a little bit more about nutrition, and
Yeah.
because we've been looking at recipes, and we didn't bring one today, and I'll tell you why. Because I threw some stuff away yesterday that we tried. We've been in this little, let's try this, and our thing lately is I like dessert.
Mm-hmm.
The older I get, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I'm becoming my father, but we're trying to keep it healthy.
Okay.
Or healthier, less sugar, less calories, but it's the good flavor.
Yeah.
So we tried these peanut butter chocolate things it's peanut butter, Greek yogurt, and then you melt the chocolate. So the chocolate was legit, right? But the peanut butter and yogurt combo, it was just kind of sour.
What's the thought process behind adding the yogurt to the peanut butter? I'm asking, like, as far as like to make it
More protein.
Okay.
More protein,
Yeah.
and then you're not adding like sugar and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then it gives you, these were stuff that you put in the freezer
Uh-huh.
after you put the chocolate on, so it was like a frozen Reese's kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't taste like Reese's.
Do you think it would have tasted better if you would have used like vanilla?
So we
flavored
tried
Greek yogurt?
that was our we're like, all right, the plain Greek yogurt, it's out for next time.
Yeah.
So we mixed up some yesterday with vanilla. It tasted damn near the same.
Mm.
Like to the point where I was like, I looked at her, I said, you know what? If I want a frozen Reese's, I'm gonna stick a damn Reese's in the freezer and eat it.
Yeah.
Kind of like you posted a while back on Instagram. You can have a piece of cake once in a while.
Yeah.
You know what? I can have
Excuse me.
a 2-pack of Reese's every once in a
You
while.
can. Absolutely.
Like, why
my
am I
friend.
trying to reinvent something that is delicious that
Yeah.
I just need to eat in moderation?
You know what? I agree with you on that. And I get the healthy recipe thing. Like Meg and I, we have a bunch, and there's one that and here's the thing. They're a pain in the butt to make, to like go get the ingredients that you need for the most part and then make. But there was one that we really liked, but it was black bean and sweet potato brownies.
Okay, that sounds weird, bro.
I know it
That
does.
does not sound good at all.
I know it does, but it
they were
really
good.
was good. So you took canned sweet potatoes
Mashed
and
them
black
up.
beans, processed it all together, and it kind of created like a paste, like if you got brownie mix after you mixed it up in a bowl.
Okay, that consistency.
That was the consistency, and then you put it in a pan like brownies, and there was probably a couple like artificial sweeteners and stuff we had to add in there as well. It wasn't anything
Did you add
major.
chocolate protein powder to it or something?
We might have. I don't remember because this was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we still have the recipe, and we tore them up, dude. I mean, like we were talking last week, nothing ever really tastes
Quite
as good as the normal.
Yep.
But it was good, man. We use an ice cream called Halo Top, and Halo Top is like the whole little pint, depending on which ones you get.
I've seen those in
Yeah,
the
it
store
can be
before.
290 to 320 calories
For the whole
for the
container.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we took some Halo Top vanilla bean and put it on those black bean and sweet potato brownies.
Like 30 or 40 calories worth on
Yeah,
each one, probably.
it was good,
Not
dude.
like crazy.
Yeah, it was good. So there are good substitutions out there. So,
Well, and
but I agree. There's no substitute. So last night was cheat meal night. Meg is in, I think, week 12 or something like that of competition prep. Everything is going in the right direction. And we went to Olive Garden because that's what the kids wanted. That's what I wanted to. I'm lying. And
dude,
then
sometimes Olive Gardens were just really good.
yeah, and then we went and got an apple pie from Kroger and had that for dessert at the house. So, but again, we're talking about moderation. So she had the real deal, legit in moderation yesterday, and she's going to be just fine.
Back on the train today.
Yeah, the closer she gets to prep, then that crap
the less
will
that goes away.
away. But right now,
but then you have that to look forward to after the show.
Yeah, yeah.
No, well, and we were talking a little bit too. Erica and I were talking. She had bought some kind of chocolate chips that are super low calorie, the Lily's ones, and I wasn't sure what was in them, so I looked it up, and they're actually probably one of the better alternatives because the only thing that's in them is, I can't remember the word. There's an X in it, xylitol or whatever, and it's a sweetener that's made from sugar, but through that they use the alcohol process or whatever. I don't know.
And get rid of like the
they get rid of
the or whatever.
They get rid of the carbs.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the. It was the only word of the 3 or 4 ingredients that I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's a decent substitute. My concern is she's had a couple melanomas, and I'm like, when you start looking at some of this stuff, and there's 3 and 4 syllable words and 4 or 5 ingredients like that, I'm like, to give up some carbs, well, you don't even know what you're eating because you can't even read it. Like, would you rather have big pharma type stuff in your food, or would you rather just eat the real thing and count the calories and the macros?
Eat the real thing, but I'm gonna ask you a question. What does that got to do with melanoma?
Well, that bad stuff probably leads to other cancers.
Okay,
it's
like I just wondered if you had somewhere you were going with that,
it's
buddy.
Like everything in moderation.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, it's like yes, 100%. Do y'all drink Diet Cokes?
We do.
Okay,
guilty
cool.
as charged.
Me too. But you got people. Oh man,
But I don't drink 6 of them a day.
That's bad for you.
Here, I'm drinking a 0 carb Monster right now.
Aspartame is that?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Aspartame causes cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, in studies that they did on
rats where they gave 3 pounds
over
of it.
and over and over again, not a human being.
Everything in moderation.
So I agree.
But I just think if you get on that kick and you're cooking 90% of your stuff that way, then it's not moderation anymore.
True.
So that's my preacher for the day.
Yeah.
Do that for some things, that's great. But if you start doing that with everything that you're eating, might not be the best for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the words are really long, that means it's super processed.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
Yep.
So.
No, that's good advice, dude.
I hope so. I'm not a doctor. But it's just common sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing wrong with the real deal.
So
in moderation.
Yeah.
Hell, I've been eating a crap ton of Cinnamon Toast Crunch again here in the last few days.
Is that your guilty cereal pleasure?
It is, but it isn't. Like, I do love it, but it's mainly just to get more calories and more easy digestible carbs in, at the end of the day.
Right.
So I'm like, I've already tortured myself all day long. What is 2 servings of Cinnamon Toast Crunch going to do to me after I already had my my grape nuts? So it's the grape nuts first, 2 servings, and then and I'm switching the cereal up between the cereal, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and my ice cream. It's like every other day, switch it around.
And look at him. He's a machine.
I do. I work hard. You have to.
And you can. I mean, and then you can have that and still feel good, look good, be healthy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And we had our old neighbors, a couple guys tried to tell me, you can't out train a bad diet, Eric. And I've cut way back on a lot of things in the last year or two, the last couple of years. I've cut way back on my alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time in my life for probably 30 years, if there's 30 days in the month, 29 of them, I had beers.
Yeah.
Not a beer, beers. Fridays, it was 6 or 8,
Yeah.
And I did that every day. And I looked like I do now, sometimes better. But I trained like an animal.
Why did you decide to give up alcohol, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I don't really give it up. I just, common sense hit me getting older and wiser hit me. It's like, that's not good for you to do it every day.
Yeah.
So I just have a couple on Friday. Whatever.
And so that's the routine?
Friday, Saturday, if I want to have a couple.
Cool.
And then the rest of the week. And you know what? Since I've started doing that, I sleep better.
Yeah.
I feel better. Joints feel better. And you start reading a little bit about it, and it's like, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's common sense.
I agree.
And like, I don't smoke or anything like that, but like, if somebody likes a cigar,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't recommend smoking one every day, but if you want to have one on Friday night,
yeah, why not, man?
do your thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think a cigar is probably healthier than a cigarette.
I mean,
you don't inhale a cigar.
You don't inhale a
dude.
cigar, yeah.
It's more for flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
Chew on it a little bit, get the smoke, blow it out.
Don't get me going.
Have your brandy, your scotch, whatever it is.
Just don't set a tin of Skoal on the table, because I'll smell it and I don't want it. I did that. Well, I did that through high school while I was wrestling. To not eat and drop weight.
Yeah.
And I love that stuff. And then I quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
I tell Eric all the time, though, if I'm by somebody and they open a tin of that, I'm like, that smells good. But I don't do it. Because if I did, I'd be hooked.
Yeah.
All over again. Yeah. That was my favorite thing ever for 2 or 3 years.
Never got into it. Tried, not really tried, but like when I was young and you played baseball, it was like, oh, whoa,
it's a cool thing to do. Yeah.
We've got some Copenhagen, man. You want some? But smoking, I did get into for a long, long time. That is a habit that I'm glad that I gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my dad was a stocky, big farm guy. His arms were big around my legs.
Yeah.
We would get up in the morning to milk the cows. At 4:20 in the morning, he'd pull out a tin of Skoal, take about a third of the can and put it in his upper lip.
Yeah.
And then he'd reach in his pocket, grab a Marlboro Red, and light it up.
Yeah. Two at once, the Skoal and the Marlboro.
Yes. I remember that vividly on walks to the barn in the morning. Like,
that's a man's man.
I'm like, I don't know how he...
Dad.
So, my dad caught me in the barn with some dip when I was wrestling the first time. And he said, "Oh, how long you been doing this?" I went, "A few months." He's like, "Do your mother know?" I'm like, "No, what do you think?"
Yeah.
He said, "Here," he opens up his can. He's like, "Take some." He said, "No, take some more." He's like, "Yeah." He gave me a big old, and he didn't know. I'd been doing it for 3 months, like all day long, every day.
Yeah.
At school when he couldn't spit.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
Dude.
Well, I'd get done with football season, weigh about 200 pounds, and I wrestled at 167.
Yeah.
So it was rough.
But no, you said at school where you couldn't spit, so you're swallowing.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
So anyhow, we're in the barn that night, and Dad gives me this huge dip. Because I think, he figured, he'll get sick and he'll quit this shit. And an hour or two later, he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I told you I've been doing this for a few months now."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You don't tell your mother I gave you any, and don't let her find out."
Yeah.
And that was the end of the conversation.
Cool. That's cool.
I mean,
well, the bonding experience with your pops, dude.
It was, and he was pretty hardcore dude.
Yeah.
But I think he probably figured, well, he sees me do it every day, all day.
Yeah.
What I don't know what he thought, but.
And how old were you at the time? Middle school? Junior high?
15.
Yeah. He'd probably been doing it since that age, too.
Yep. And then, out of the blue, my dad quit smoking. Just boom, dropped it. I mean, he'd had some issues. So, but yeah. He quit smoking out of the blue. I think my mother was ecstatic when that happened because my mom never smoked. So,
Cool. What else you want to talk about this morning, man?
what do you got?
I don't know. I really don't have anything.
We didn't have a plan
dude.
today. We just said we're going to chat.
You know, I was trying to think of how to
I saw
be
your.
polite about what.
No,
What'd
go
you
ahead.
say? No, what did
No.
you say? I was gonna say just ego lifting. Like I was working on plans this morning, and my buddy I was kind of mentioning before we started the show. So I'm going through, you
Yeah,
know.
we talk about some of you, but we keep it on the down low. Not really.
So I'm going through his plans because he just picked back up with me last week, and he's got a lot of potential. The show that we did together was his first show. I've been coaching / training him for 2 or 3 years, honestly.
I remember because you showed me pics,
Yeah,
and he did a really good job
yeah.
for a first show. Yeah.
He won his first place in his class. He got to compete for the Open because he did. Anyway, love the dude to death. Looks really good. Has good genetics too. But I'm looking at his numbers, and man, I'm like, bro, there is no way. There is no way you're lifting that much weight and doing it right. So just wanted to touch base on ego lifting a little bit, man. And wow, Jared is, dude. He will ego lift with the best of them, man. And guys, just I don't understand like what the need is to be like, oh,
I
I
do.
lift X
I
amount.
totally do. I think I do.
People ask me all the time, "What's your max?" I'm like, I don't know. That's not the way I train. I don't care what my max is.
No,
Now, if I wanted
you're
to,
worried about what you can lift for 10, 12, 15 reps.
yes,
That's a different story.
yeah, and
Because
so
there's too much chance for injury.
absolutely.
Like,
Um,
unless you're a professional power lifter and you're getting paid to do it.
and so I just, there's a lot you if you want to grow good muscle, don't be concerned with how much you're able to lift. Just focus on technique and your progressive overload and shooting. I would honestly recommend anywhere from maybe a 6 to 15 rep range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, but good form is going to kill, or is going to by far surpass um, bad form with heavier weight than what you need any day of the week.
Good motion and controlled motion on the eccentric and the concentric part
Yeah.
of the lift will definitely grow bigger muscles
Yeah.
and make you stronger in certain situations, as opposed to bouncing it off your chest so you can get 20 more pounds.
Yeah.
Been there and
We all
been there and
have,
done it,
dude. We all have. I agree 100%,
when you say you don't understand, I'm the simplest dude on the planet, and because it's no, and we don't get a ton of comments on here. But if I'm wrong, and I know I'm not,
Yeah.
it's for us guys because we're fucking cavemen.
Well,
There's
that is
part
true.
of there's
Yes.
part of this back here.
Yeah.
And we're no different than, I don't want to get into, I'm not pro evolution or pro anything, but like we're like freaking apes. The biggest, baddest ape runs the group, gets the woman. It's part of our DNA to some degree. Like cavemen were like that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. So some of us are better at, are maybe more evolved than others.
Being more caveman than others.
So, yeah, I was that way for a long time, dude. I used to walk. I remember I walked into many gyms. I'm like, okay, I gotta do what I can.
Yeah.
Wasn't always, the biggest guy there, but wanted to lift as much as the biggest guy if I could.
Yeah.
Or close to it. And then you walk into certain gyms and you're like, well, I ain't lifted as much as that dude. Not on that lift or this lift. Or,
Yeah.
It's just obvious.
But
I get it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Now, it's not worth it anymore. I mean, I've done it and I've hurt myself. And Hell, I hurt myself not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Just have freak things happen. So, yeah, I try to lift comfortably every once in a while. I'm like, I'm having a good day. I'm going to do a little more, do a little more.
I mean, I agree with that 100%. And you should progressively overload, like all the time.
I mean,
I'm just looking at some of his numbers, and I know the guy, and I'm like, no, there's no way you're doing that right, bro. And on several of my clients that I work with, if I see something like that in their notes, I will add a note into that exercise that says, I want to see you do this. If I'm with somebody, come and get me. I don't care.
right. I want to see if you're being honest or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but every once in a while, I am like, oh, okay, cool. You are doing that right. Continue.
Yeah,
but still,
good job.
I wanted to verify, but I would say more than half the time, there's something that can be corrected or fixed to where the lighter weight actually is where they truly need to be, and they're not getting so many other different muscles involved in the motion that shouldn't be there to begin with.
That's funny. I'm surprised you. That's like this shirt. This is a shirt from Branch Warren. You've seen videos of Branch training. He trained like a maniac.
Mm-hmm.
He was freaking huge.
Good genetics too.
Good genetics, and he was blessed with not a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
And the way he trained, if you watch the way he trained, it's a miracle. He didn't tear biceps and all sorts of stuff.
I'm laughing because I watched another. There's this dude I follow on Facebook. I like his stuff. He still holds his pro card. He doesn't compete anymore, but he still looks freaking amazing. But he gives advice and stuff on Facebook. Don't see him so much on Instagram, but I do on Facebook. And then he'll take just like videos of influencers, like people that are nobody, but they have a large following, and they're on Instagram with their shirts off, like, want abs? Do this. You want bigger arms?
Do
this. And he'll break down the exercise in the video and what they're doing wrong and be like, guys. Anyway, he did one on Branch Warren. So both pro bodybuilders, and he said, I got mad respect for Branch. So don't take this the wrong way. But he shows a video of him doing seated rows. And he's like, this form is horrible. And unless you're Branch Warren on a crap ton of gear with awesome genetics, doing it this way is not gonna help you guys.
Yeah, if you weren't him or Dorian Yates,
yes,
who was
or Ronnie or
yeah,
any of the freaks that are that big on stage. Because let's be real, I mean, we can get far in life without saying genetics. We can through discipline, hard work, and eating right. But the freaking mass monsters that you see that are pro bodybuilders, I'd have to Google it. I'm not going to right now, but there is a true genetic mutation that they have that allows them to build more muscle than the average person does, dude.
Yep.
And so they can do shit like that and still get big because it is truly in their genetics. Anyway.
But most of them, if they do it long enough, do end up having injuries. Dorian had injuries.
Yeah.
Ronnie had injuries.
Yeah, you see him.
You see him now.
I saw a video from Lee Priest here recently, and even Lee was like, and he's still jacked, dude.
He is.
He's like, there's no way I'm putting over 600 pounds on the leg press. There's no need for it.
Yep.
He said, I can get just as an effective workout with under 600 pounds by controlling my movements than I can.
It's funny you bring that up.
Slapping 1,000 on there and hitting that hard with crappy form.
Now that my knee's feeling good,
yeah,
I haven't gone above 4 and 5 plates on the sled. But I'm doing 20 reps, nice and slow up and down. I look down and my legs are pumped up, the veins are popping because you slow it down. It's time under tension.
Mm-hmm.
Time under tension over more reps and a
It's going to
slower
do
rate of
more
motion
for you than heavier weight.
than banging out 10
Yes.
reps with 1,000 pounds on there.
That's horrible on your joints.
Yes.
Agreed.
And if you've had one of these done, you probably don't want to have to do it again.
Yeah, I'd imagine not, buddy. Yeesh.
So
Just throw the towel in at that point if the doctor's like, Eric, no, we got to do your left. I'll just stop training legs.
yeah, I'll be one of those guys. Yeah, it's fun. Now, if my old business partner and my best friend of most of my life heard you say that, he'd be like, no, he will always train legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got to. You can't just not
They
train
sent a
legs.
picture of a dude in the airport that looked like me about 20 years ago from here up. His wife sent me this picture. She's like, oh my God, we saw your doppelganger today. She's like, and then she sent me a picture of legs. And she's like, but Addison saw his legs and said, oh no, Eric doesn't miss leg day.
That poor guy. Y'all were taking pictures of him and he didn't even know it, man. Or your friends were. You
My
weren't.
friends were. It was funny though.
That
But
is
yeah.
funny. So I think, with good nutrition and the stuff that we were talking about earlier, and just really good. And again, there's always a time for heavy, or to go heavier. There's always a time. I did a reel the other day that just talked about progression or progressive overload in general. And there's 5 things. Like when we think of progressive overload, most people think, oh, that means I got to put on more weight. No, progressive overload is weight, reps. Sets, working on proper form, and what you said,
Time under tension.
the time under
slowing
the
reps
tension,
down.
the tempo of your movements, man.
Or like at not only the time under tension, doing your rep up and down slow, but like when you're doing like leg extensions, when you get it all the way up, holding it for a 2 or 3 count before you go back down. And when you go back down, you don't go 1, 2, you go up slow, 1, 2, down
1, 2,
slow,
3, 4, bam.
Yeah, and then back
1,
up.
2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Did I tell you what?
You might do half of what you can do.
So like here lately for like this whole 8 weeks that I've been on my current program, I think 3 weeks ago maybe I got back up to 65-pound dumbbells for my shoulder press, and I can do 90s, but 65s with the pause here. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause.
Yep.
1, 2, pause. 1, 2, 3. Just by, again, controlling that tempo, having the pause at the stretch, the pause at the contraction. Again, dude, I've been working the 65s for 3 weeks, dude. The first week, I think, like on my 4 sets was like maybe 12, 9, 8, and then 7 to finish it up, dude.
And he's been putting on size.
Yes.
Like, you have.
Thank you again.
So,
Stop it.
Since I tore my pec here, it's been what, 4 weeks now? And I kind of tweaked it a little.
Yeah.
Yes, not yesterday, day before yesterday, we had a really good upper body workout. First one I've actually felt good about since jacking it up.
Yeah.
But I got up to the 70s. I was like, man, I feel good. I could do the 80s. And Erica's kind of looking at me already, and I'm like, I'm just going to stay with but I was doing 15, 20 reps.
Yeah.
Not super slow, but not going, just nice and controlled.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I'll just stick with this. Today's upper body. Might go to 75s.
That's what I was going to say.
But I'm not going to
go 5 pounds. I mean, over the next couple of weeks, increase it 5 pounds every week, just a comfort level.
And I'm going to keep I had worked my way back up after knee surgery to where I could do the hundreds again.
Yeah.
For like 10 reps. But I'm almost at a point where I'd rather do 80s for 20 reps than hundreds for 10.
Yeah.
I know it'll make me look better.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm getting older and wiser. I don't give a shit about how much I'm lifting anymore.
Yeah.
I want to feel good.
Yeah.
And try to avoid.
Hold on. What did you say? That you don't care how you look anymore?
How much I lift.
Okay. I was going to say, now I know you're lying, dude, or you wouldn't be in here. No.
Well, I mean,
I really don't, dude. I don't care how much I lift. that's not important to me. The important part to me is again working the muscle, the contraction and the stretch, and making that muscle grow.
Yep.
And they all do. They go hand in hand. So in order to lift more, you have to have more muscle. Like I mean, or
And a
to
foundation.
lift to be stronger. Yeah, you mean you know to I don't mean did that make sense when I said to lift more? I meant like, you know, if you want to go from 225 to 275 on your bench press or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, but again, if you're training properly and you're doing a combination of all the different styles of progression and you're training the different muscle fibers from, you know, having a 4 to 6 week period where, you know, you are pushing a little heavier from maybe that 6 to 8 or 6 to 12 rep range, and then switching it up and going 6 weeks to where you're at maybe, you know, 12 to 18 rep range. If you follow that and you implement proper progression, you're going to hit all of the different muscle fibers and you're going to get stronger and you're going to build or grow your muscle as well
Sure.
by hitting those different combinations of training.
And over years of training too, you need to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Because I used to read the articles like I can't remember all the names of the guys now, but even there were pro bodybuilders that weren't super strong. They bench pressed 200 pounds for 20 reps though.
Yeah.
And they looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got, you know, Ronnie benching 400 pounds for 10 reps.
Yeah.
And they were like, I can't train with him. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you said, yeah, Ronnie looked a little better, but these dudes were jacked.
Yeah.
So part of it's your own makeup and how your body responds to things
I agree.
to some degree.
So do you know who Kai Green is?
Yeah.
So Kai was he's still in the bodybuilding circuit.
He's got some great quotes about,
yeah.
He's like, I'm not a weightlifter. I'm a bodybuilder.
Like, yes.
Like he worries about, he's big on control.
Man, why are you trying to take away from my part of the conversation, Eric?
You asked me if I knew Kai. Yeah.
Guy.
He's great.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's, you know, I'm not a power lifter. I don't care how much I can lift. Yep. My purpose is to stretch and squeeze and control the muscle so I get it to grow.
Make it as big and look good as possible.
Yeah.
In his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big SOB too, man.
He's huge. And he's been huge for decades.
For a long time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that dude can dance. He's flexible. Mm-hmm. It's crazy the stuff he does.
I was gonna say, have you seen some of like the artsy stuff that he does, like his street performing or
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is, dude.
Like the balance and stuff that he has doing. I'm like, he's not just a meathead.
No.
He's like,
yeah. He's got some different stuff that he incorporates in there.
Like,
that
he can do ballet and shit.
Like, you see me try to run, dude, to go chase after my dogs, and that looks pretty ugly. Yeah. Pretty ugly.
Well, we're going to go take some dance lessons. And I told Eric, I said, you're going to be patient because I'm going to be like the bull in the china shop.
Anything in particular y'all want to,
just Texas
two-step? No, like tango or.
What did I just tell you about me?
Well,
I might have taken. It's been a while. I've taken some dance classes.
I can't remember what Megan and I did. I know we did the two-step, but then we also there's one. Oh, is it the waltz where you like stay in the box the whole time?
That might be the waltz.
It's like pretty much you take steps in squares, but the better you get, then you learn how to spin and twirl and jazz it up. Anyway. Before Meg and I got married, we took dance lessons, so that way at our wedding we looked like we knew what we were doing.
That's cool.
It was fun. It was really fun. We didn't keep up with it after the wedding, though. I don't even think she and I have gone dancing again since the wedding. That could be something fun to go do.
Well, we listen to a little bit of everything, but we tend to listen to quite a bit of country the older we get. And she heard they're opening up a new, huge honky-tonk kind of thing here in McKinney. Mm-hmm. Down where they're building there's a new music venue coming and stuff. What do you say it's like going to be 50,000 square feet honky tonk in McKinney?
Wow.
So you're just down the street. That'd be fun to go on Friday night.
That would be fun. They also have like ballroom dancing like classes. What It is like a class, but it's like the way that the business will set it up is like you pay and you go in on a Friday night, and a lot of people go in, and there's
Sure.
like little snacks and drinks and stuff like that, and then whoever owns the place or the instructor there, like just everybody just learns how to dance and has a good time. You get to intermingle with people that are like your age and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
and I didn't mean that like you and Erica, like y'all's age. I meant it like,
Yeah, you did.
you know, older
It's all
people,
right.
like all of us.
Oh, there goes older
Oh,
people.
I consider myself to be in that age range, dude. I'm be 43 this year. Dang, see, I don't even keep up with my age. I got to think about it.
You're closer to Erica in age than I am.
Oh man, how old are you? How much older than you are you than Erica?
7 years.
Like me and Meg, I'm 6 years older than her.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
You got to get them a little younger.
You do, and they still train you.
That's right.
You think it's gonna go the other way, but
No, I don't know if I ever had that idea in my head at all. As soon as like she started like, I think you should like, you need to get ready, because this was like back in 2000s. I still dressed like I was in the 90s. You know, your pants are really baggy. We should probably get you pants that like, let's just try some different pants that fit you better.
I
Well,
think
you know, now
mine
that
was.
we got new pants, you know, your shirts. We could probably get some new shirts to go with those pants, and then
I know
slowly
that
but
deal.
surely.
I don't think I had anything but shorts, jeans, and t-shirts when I met her. Now I got shirts with
Oh,
buttons
man.
on them, and
Jeez, but it's been good.
I've gotten to the point though too where I know where we're once we decide where we're going for dinner. If I can wear a t-shirt or if I need to wear a shirt with buttons without asking her.
Oh, that's good.
Now sometimes I get the maybe you should wear that other one.
Nothing wrong with that. That's their job, man. It's to make us be better, my friend.
She makes me look good.
Yeah.
So,
She makes you look the way she wants you to look.
which is good. 'Cause
Exactly.
she's got good
That's
taste.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why my style slowly started changing at the beginning of mine and Meg's relationship, because she wanted me to look the way she wanted me to look.
She needed you to be presentable.
Exactly, dude. No baggy jeans and baggy shirts that didn't fit anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's good, man. What
Yeah,
else you got
that's
today,
good.
buddy?
I'm good. Ain't you got a client pretty soon?
I
here?
do, man.
It's almost
I do.
noon.
So he should be walking in here any moment.
It's always a fun chat.
Yeah, that was good.
But let us know what you think about the ego lifting caveman thing, because I think I'm right.
About what? I mean,
Just that we're all cavemen. That us guys are like, I got to go in there and freaking go balls to the wall.
yeah. You know, and so one more just on that. So even like with my plan that I'm working myself is a 12-week plan. And so like even in let me rephrase that. It is a 12-week plan. But you and I have talked a lot lately, and I am only training 4 days a week right now.
Yep.
Because I want to give my body 3 days. Since I'm trying to grow, I want 3 days of recovery. I don't want to be blowing through extra calories that my body needs to help put the muscle on and get bigger. And so for like the first 2 weeks, dude, I had to struggle like to tell myself mentally
To not work out that day.
with 4 days.
Yeah.
You do not need to do extra. And I was seriously doubting like my own method for the first couple of weeks until I started to see the dial on the scale move in the right direction. The muscle mass on the in-body that we use here in the gym continue to go up. My body fat percent stay leveled out where it was. And then the strength and the weights and the reps increases as well. So anyway, so even me, it's just going back to what you said with the caveman stuff, that first couple of weeks after I had designed and built my own program, I was like, oh, I don't feel like you're doing enough, man. Let's do another day. And no, stick to the plan. Stick to the plan, man.
Anytime I change my plan, about a week or two into it, I'm like, but it's like a very similar, especially the last couple of years is, I know, just stick with this plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't plan on competing, but I'm like, so stick with the plan for whatever if it's for 6 weeks, 10 weeks, or 12 weeks, stick with it.
Yeah.
See where you're at, and then revamp
Yeah.
and start another plan
Absolutely, man.
based on what you got out of that one or didn't get
Yeah.
out of that one.
Because I truly feel like had I not, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 5 days. I'm gonna do 5 days. I don't think that I would be where I am right now as far as my bulking season, because I would have been burning
More
more
calories.
calories
You wouldn't be
than
putting on
I
the
had
mess.
accounted for in all of my calculations to have my calories where they needed to be for my 4 days a week and the amount of calories I'm burning during those workouts. So anyway, I agree. I mean, I'm not saying that we're not are goofy in the head as far as men are. We are. So
Yeah. No, I'm back to 5 days a week. I tried 4 for a while.
well, what happened?
It just wasn't enough. But it wasn't enough because I'm only willing to change my diet so much.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that I'm just going to eat.
Yeah. Well, what do you say? Hold on.
But-
So
I
but
just
clarify, because
I
right
just
now
look in the
you're
mirror and go, I get too much fluff
right,
here. So
and
when
you're trying to trim down a little bit.
so when I upped
Right.
it to 5 days,
Yeah.
I'm burning
Well-
a few more
Well,
calories.
exactly.
And a couple weeks into that, I'm like, okay, this is working.
So if I wanted to burn more calories and wasn't trying to grow, then absolutely, I'd be on a 5-day workout plan. Just like when getting ready for a show and you're cutting, and I'm working out 6 days a week
Or 7.
just to burn calories to keep my body burning the fat. So yeah. So, but like we always talk about, you gotta, your workout has to fit with what your current goals are.
Sure.
So like your goal is to drop a few inches and a few body
Few
fat
pounds.
percent. Yeah. So working out more makes sense. So that way you're burning more calories.
I'm
Whereas
really-
I got to put mine to use to help my body grow. So if I work out 5 or 6 days a week, I'm pretty much just burning the extra that I'm eating
Exactly.
and staying stagnant.
Yep. And I can enjoy the wonderful peanut butter balls
Yeah.
that I'm not, we're always going to have those now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Cool.
those things. So
So that's not a substitute for the Reese's Pieces or the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
no, it is. When I'm like, I take those when I'm on the road.
Yeah.
That's my treat for getting through the day and doing what I got to do. No, but there's still going to be, I'm going to have some Reese's every once in a while
Yeah.
because I like it. It's probably one of my favorite. So
Cool. All right. Good talk this morning, Eric.
yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric Streeter, Kyle Bailey, Rebel and Last, The Iron Rack. Follow, subscribe, like,
To our YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube link will be on Facebook.
make comments.
If on Instagram, you won't get the YouTube link because I just post this right straight to Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's under the Rebel and Last on Instagram.
Cool.
And I tag Kyle in it, the Iron Rack. So
Have a good weekend.
yeah.